You are listening to WMHW HD1 and HD2 Mount Pleasant Mountain 91.5, a service of Central Michigan University's School of Broadcast and Cinematic Arts. Hello, folks, and welcome to episode 13 of Card Guys. I'm Anthony Schulte, joined today by Ryan Donnelly and Doug Mobley. At 12:15, we discuss the Tigers' best signing in years. 12:25, we talk about those struggling Detroit Pistons. And at 12:30, we talk NFL Week 10 and our picks from last week. Ryan, Doug, how are we? This finally a beautiful day here at CMU.
I mean, yeah, it's about the first time in a couple weeks we've had a nice day. It's supposed to be 60
I can actually
tomorrow.
break out the shades today.
Yeah, it's going to be 60 tomorrow, guys.
Actually, it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. Good weather means good week.
Hope your Monday's going well. Hope your week's off to a great start. Shorts weather tomorrow. Had a great weekend. I saw Christmas Carol at the Fraser Performing Arts Center on Saturday at 1. Great job to the cast. Congratulations on a great weekend. 2 more shows till Thanksgiving.
That's true.
We got lots to talk about.
A lot to talk about today.
Let's start off, man. Wow, what a signing for the Tigers.
Well, to get us started, we're going to talk about the Lions. Last night, 41-38 win over the Chargers. So Lions escaped Los Angeles. I'm going to say escape because that was not an easy win. More of a shootout, per se, on the offensive front. Both of these defenses are not necessarily world-renowned, to say the least. And the offenses are some of the best in the league. The Chargers' record does not speak to the talent they have on that roster, and they're still missing Mike Williams. They Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, some of the best at their respective positions. And the Lions still edge out a win in Los Angeles. So how are we feeling about that, gentlemen? Because I'm a little scared about this Lions team right now.
Well, the offense makes me feel good, and then every single good feeling I have about the offense just gets completely obliterated by the non-existent defense.
I wouldn't even say non-existent. I'd just say inapt to change and make adjustments.
I think that's Aaron Glenn's fault. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
A little bit.
I think we saw it against the Ravens. Zone coverage did not work on the very first play, and he continued to run it for the entire game. It is terrible, and it's not something that we should continue to coach like that. And I think hopefully this offseason there needs to be some changes on the defensive side of the field.
I agree. I said this in last week's show, and I'm going to say it once again. This game was going to be a shootout between Herbert and Goff, and it was, respectively. And just the offense looked great. Monty had that 75-yard touchdown, and then Gibbs had 2 of his own, and then Brock Wright having his first touchdown in a while, and then Amon-Ra having a touchdown as well. And then for the Chargers, Eckler had 1, Keenan had 2, Quentin Johnson had 1, and then Jalen Guyton, I think that's how you say it, had 1. But Gayton had 1. But this defense, man, what is going on? I think it's Aaron Glenn's fault. Either we're making changes, we're making switches, but our defense doesn't know how to make those switches yet. We're not making those switches at all, or our defense just doesn't know what to do. And 2 of those are Aaron Glenn's fault, and one of them is the defense fault. I fault that to Aaron Glenn. He is just not good. He's not making the changes. And that's what's costing us this game. That's why this game became a shootout. And although, yeah, we got the win, all thanks to Riley Patterson, but I knew this game was going to be a shootout. I knew this game was going to be close, and I knew this game was going to be high scoring. The Chargers, I'm going to give them respect. They got a good team. Even without Mike Williams, they still are a solid team. You know, you still got guys like Johnson and Guyton just doing good, and you have Eckler in the backfield.
And Herbert's an incredible quarterback.
And Herbert is great.
Herbert's been a good quarterback for the entire few years that he's been in the league, and every single year people are just like, he's just kind of okay. Nah, he's getting paid $200 million for a reason.
Well, he also only has one really good receiver that's consistently there, and it's Keenan Allen. Mm-hmm. Mike Williams is either hurt or one of the 2 are hurt. He never has really his full repertoire of receivers, and the defense doesn't help. They tried to help it, bringing in J.C. Jackson. Obviously, that plan failed. They tried to help bringing in Khalil Mack. Of course, he helps, but it doesn't make up for the secondary. Their defensive line is not bad. Their rush defense is not bad. It's their passing defense. And when we can abuse the ground the way that the Lions did against a good rush defense, it kind of that's where I'm kind of excited, because it's like even against a good run defense, we can still run the ball, and this team likes to run the ball. But what scares me about this team is if we play the way we played yesterday, the way we played in Baltimore, the way we played against Las Vegas, the way we played against Seattle, the way we played against Kansas City. If we play that way, which has been a consistent theme this year, we're not getting past the divisional round. We'll win a wild card. We could get a bye. I don't think we get past the divisional, and it's because of that defense against that was against a good offense. We let up 38 points. Look at what the Ravens did to us. Imagine the Eagles. Imagine the 49ers.
Imagine the Dolphins.
Imagine the
Dolphins. The Cowboys.
Imagine we play the Cowboys this season.
Not for like a little bit
I'd even
later,
say,
though.
Imagine the Vikings, because they have a good quarterback right now in Josh Dobbs, and they have Justin Jefferson's going to be back for literally right when we play the Vikings. Justin Jefferson will be back. They have Jordan Addison, who's great. KJ Osborne's a solid player, and they have TJ Hawkinson, who right now is the best tight end in the league.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for discounting Alexander Madison, because he can't seem to stay healthy to save his life.
Well, I wasn't going to mention the running back room in Minnesota, because that's rough.
Cam Akers is hurt and Madison's hurt.
But they still got Jordan Addison.
The one thing that we can stop is the run, and they don't have a run. And the one thing we can't stop is the air attack, and that's all the Vikings offense has.
Justin Jefferson's going to get like 17,000
just like last
yards
year
against us.
Just like last year, what did he get? Like 100? Didn't he get like 170 last year against us?
Yeah, he's going to get probably a total of close to 400 yards in the 2 games we play.
And then they have Hawkinson, who's their red zone threat, big boy down low. I mean, yesterday had just a phenomenal performance. Thank you to my fantasy team. TJ Hawkinson's the staple of that team right now. Nonetheless, this Lions team, it's scary. It's scary. We need to make those changes on defense.
And scary
Will it
not in a
help
good
when
way.
Josh Pascal is healthy? Yes. Will it help when James Houston is healthy? Yes. Will it help when we just get more reps together? Yes. But Aaron Glenn needs to make the necessary changes in game to where we're not letting up the same mistakes. Why is every single Chargers wide receiver wide open across the middle? Zone is not working, Aaron Glenn. Change to a man. Don't make subtle changes that work for one play, because the next play, guess what? They're going to cook up something against you. This is the NFL. They have entire departments of 50 people who scout teams and give notes for what to look for.
Yeah, some might even call that sign stealing.
I wouldn't say it's. I just say it's just better scouting. It's a better way to scout. I don't like sign stealing personally. It's how you do it in college. But in the NFL, there's much better ways to scout, and they use those ways to scout. But going up against a good team, any team at the top of the top 4 AFC, top 4 NFC, not including the Lions, any one of those teams beats the Lions last night. Any team beats the Lions Monday night a couple weeks ago. Any team beats the Lions that one dreaded Sunday afternoon against the Ravens. Anybody beats the Lions against Kansas City, because Kansas City catches 2 of their 15 drop balls and they win the game. Fair, simple as. Play against or that opening day at Ford Field against the Seahawks. Anybody beats us. Now, if we play the way we play against the Panthers or the Falcons, then you know what? Maybe we'll beat them. But we can't keep looking at this Lions team like, we're for sure winning 2 playoff games. We're making the Super. No, we can't. We have to be realistic, people. Yeah, we're 7-2 right now. right now.
It's great.
It's great. Good job. Good job. But you got dismantled by the Seahawks. You got dismantled by the Ravens. You barely beat the Raiders, and you barely beat the Chargers. Because your defense is inapt to change. They need to learn to make those adjustments, and that's what's scaring me about this Lions team. Look, I love that the Lions are good. I love that the Lions are fun to watch, and I love that we're not 0-10-1. But I can't help but notice the fact that there are some glaring holes on this team that need to be patched before the playoffs, because good teams take advantage of teams like the Lions right now. They do. And you'll see it. And if you don't believe me, and you're still on the train of, the Lions are making the Super Bowl regardless, we're playing great right now, let's see the divisional round. I don't know if we're going to get a wild card. I don't know if we're going to get a first-round bye. Depends on seeding. I really hope we don't get a first-round bye, because that'll kill our momentum going into the playoffs. I want to play a wild card game, get an easy playoff win. See me in the divisional round. If we don't make any changes, the Lions will not make it past the divisional round. They won't. Offense, I'm not talking offense. Offense is clicking. Offense looks good. Offense only had 2 games this year where it was a little off, and they bounced back the next game. It's the defense. Mm-hmm. It's the secondary. It's the pass coverage. It's we stop them on third down, but we can't make that stop on fourth down when they go for it. Okay, we stop them on second down. It's a big 3rd down and 6, and we're giving up a 7-yard run. There's no consistency. There's nothing in the secondary other than Kirby Joseph and Cam Sutton, who makes good plays that are not on the stat sheet.
Well, Kirby Joseph had a really bad game last night.
Other than the interception.
He had an interception, but other than that, he just flag after just
the
bad
flags,
penalty.
the questionable flags aren't going to help us, and we have to prepare for in the playoffs. The Lions are going to get questionable flags. Look, that's something you got to prepare for, and I trust Dan Campbell to prepare the guys for that. Mm-hmm. But the secondary's terrible. Other than Cam Sutton, even then, Cam Sutton got cooked last night a couple times. He did, especially he gave up a couple tutties too. When our secondary makes an actual play, either the offense responds with a field goal, and we can't finish a drive, or we give up a giant run. We need the consistency, folks. We do. Or else this is going to be a very, very, very long end of the season. Look, you still got the Cowboys. You still got the Vikings twice.
That's about it.
I'm trying to think of the rest of our schedule.
Well, that's about it. Like, we got the Saints kind of. I mean, they're decent. I mean, Carr got hurt last night, and they lost last night to the Vikings, who now that I'm scared
Vikings
because
are looking really scary right now.
Josh Dobbs isn't even a quarterback. He's an aerospace engineer. He does football on the side, and he's really good at it. But just Josh Dobbs makes me scared for these next 2 Vikings games.
Oh, yeah.
I'm scared.
Especially because they're getting Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, when they get Jay Jettas back, it's over. Jordan Addison has been playing out of his mind. KJ Osborne's playing really well. Cam Akers, I mean, the only problem that they don't have is they don't have a running back. Cam Akers tore his ACL, and who do they have left?
Madison, who gets hurt every game.
I said at the beginning of the season that we were going to split a game against the Vikings. We'll probably win at home, and we'll probably lose at Minnesota, because Minnesota's a really tough place to play. Mm-hmm. I said that from the beginning. It's what happened last year. It's going to happen this year. And I still think that. I still think we're going to edge out a win at home. On the road, though, that Viking crowd, that stadium, we can't win in that stadium to save our lives. And that crowd, I will give it to the Vikings fans. They're a passionate group.
Skol.
They're a passionate group. And it's a very hard place to play. And the Saints showed you that last night. The Vikings are going to be a tough outing both times. It'll be another shootout. It's going to be another shootout. And do I think the Lions can win 2 more shootouts like that? No. One good thing, though, I will be positive, because it was still a win. Like Dan Campbell said in the locker room, take a win for it. Wins are hard to come by. Take the win for the win. It's a win. And one thing that I'm happy to see is Dan Campbell's improved late game management, because we saw it last year against the Vikings, ironically, where you take the points and you lose the game. You're not aggressive on fourth down and you lose the game. You want the game in your hands at the end of the game. You don't want to leave it up to your defense that you know cannot play well. Or they play decent at times when they want to. And I think also in the playoffs, getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson or C.D. Deuce back, getting C.D. Deuce back possibly for the playoffs will help us. But nonetheless, those late game adjustments, we have always been saying, the one thing about Dan Campbell is he cannot manage a game clock with under 2 minutes left. Last night, we saw Dan Campbell manage that game clock and win the game with 2 seconds left on a field goal, instead of either kicking the field goal with 2 minutes left or letting the clock run all the way out, and all of a sudden, spaghetti-o. Overtime. We lost.
We got a tie.
Oh, no. Kind of saw it against the Seahawks, too. I'm really happy with the way he managed the end of that game. Going with the kneels, down to 2 seconds. You had the timeouts. It was right there for you. Just like in Minnesota last year. It was right there for you. You were aggressive on 4th and 2. You got the first down, and you got to go into victory formation. That is what I like to see from Dan Campbell. It's a very good improvement, and I'm really liking how Dan Campbell's looking right now for Coach of the Year if we can keep this up. Because dragging this defense around with you and Aaron Glenn around with you to 7 wins so far through 10 weeks and a bye, I'll take it. And I think people got to look at that. What coach has been better? Maybe D'Amico Ryans? Maybe. But then again, who has the better record and who's played the better teams? Lions. And the way that Dan Campbell coaches the team, the way that he motivates the guys, the way that we bounce back from tough losses, that's what Coach of the Year is. So I think that's Dan Campbell's award right now. It's 12:20. We kind of overtalked that segment a little bit.
You overtalked about it.
I may have. That's on me. I may have. But it's 12:20, which means we're going to talk the Tigers' best signing in years. On Thursday, the Tigers signed... just took them right away from the Chicago White Sox. Can't have anything in Chicago when it comes to White Sox baseball. Tigers hired Jason Benetti, play-by-play announcer, to replace Matt Shepard. I love this.
Benetti is so good, and I like to if y'all don't know, Jason Benetti was the White Sox play-by-play announcer for 8 years. He was great about it. He has cerebral palsy, and there's a lot of good stories about him. He's great at impressions, but one funny story that I heard about him is when he was in high school, he was in the band and he had a limp, and so he thought to himself, like, oh, what instrument can I play in the marching band that won't notice, like, hey, I won't have a limp. So he played the tuba in high school, which, funny enough, I played the tuba in high school. But just, he's such a funny dude, and he's just a great overall guy. If there were two guys that I really wanted to, like, just have as my announcer, it's Jason Benetti, and then, oh my God, who's the guy who did the World Series this year?
Joe Davis. Well, it was Burkhart who did the World Series, but Joe Davis did the rest of the postseason.
Joe Davis. I would like Benetti or Davis, and we got Benetti. I'm very happy. He's a very solid play-by-play guy.
I didn't even think he was an option because he was still under contract with the White Sox. The White Sox let him visit the Tigers, and all of a sudden, surprise, I'm gone, said Jason Benetti. Jason Benetti also works with NBC a little bit with the Olympics. He works Fox National games for MLB and in college football as well. And he also did a little bit of Bulls basketball on the side with NBC Sports Chicago. So he worked with the White Sox and the Bulls. When George Blaha decides to hang up the microphone, and it's Johnny Kane's job, but Johnny Kane can't make it, Jason Benetti on the call for Pistons, I would love to hear it. You know what Jason Benetti reminds me of?
Who?
Mario Mpemba. Listen to Mario Mpemba,
yes.
Then listen to Jason Benetti.
Oh my
he
gosh.
has shades of Mpemba, and I just love that because it's not Mario Mpemba. We've moved on from Mpemba as much as we want Mario and Rod back. He sounds just enough like Mario Mpemba to make it like this is my childhood Tigers baseball. And having Jason Benetti as the Tigers get good again, the rebuild starts to blossom and grow into fruition in what we've been seeing for the past 3 years of misery. Having this type of announcer that adds energy, that is just a good play caller. He does his homework. He does his research. He makes the game a story. He even said, I can't wait to be in your guys' living rooms all summer. he knows that he's talking with the fan base, and I was listening to a couple of Chicago White Sox games, listening, not watching. I do not want to watch Chicago White Sox games.
No.
Listening to just what he does. I mean, as a commentator myself, something I do on the side, commentating, I listen to what he does, and it's just impressive stuff. And I really like Jason Benetti and what he's going to bring to this Tigers organization, not just on a play-by-play matter, but I mean just as a journalist in general with Bally Sports, because he can do he could do football, he could do basketball, he could do baseball. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take over for the high school games in the fall for Bally Sports, their Friday night high school game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe even this year do the Bally Sports MHSAA regional or MHSAA championships at Ford Field, and even the basketball championships at Breslin Center. I could see him taking kind of like that let me do everything kind of role player in the commentary lineup with Bally Sports, because you don't see Ken Daniels doing a lot more than just Red Wings. You don't see George Blaha doing more than Pistons, because he's already got Michigan State to handle, and you don't see there's no Lions commentator, so you see Johnny Kane kind of come in here a little bit for MHSAA, for the high school games on Fridays. You see him kind of take that role. Once Blaha's gone in the next couple of years and Johnny's focused on Pistons and being that guy for the Pistons, I could see Benetti coming in and just kind of being a jack of all trades for Bally Sports, and I'm really excited for it.
I really love it. As a play-by-play guy that wants to do this as a career, I love it. To be fair, yeah, he does remind, as much as I hate to say it, it does remind me of Mpemba, and I love Mpemba. He was my childhood, but just his voice is so good, and I love it. I just can't believe we got him from the White Sox. Best move in Detroit sports since Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin.
I'd say Scott Harris.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell's a good one.
Troy Weaver. Even though
a couple managerial roles that might be sprinkled in there.
I meant like, I don't know.
Maybe Monty Williams.
I didn't know that we were mentioning like athletes. Or
not
athletes. I meant like managers and GMs. Yeah, it's best signing since Dan Campbell.
Best signing since Jared Goff.
We traded for Goff.
We traded for Goff. Well,
acquisition.
Best move.
Acquisition.
Was Goff before or after Campbell got hired?
He was before.
Goff was 1 year before.
Goff was like I think it was right before Campbell. I think it was the same offseason, but right before Campbell.
It was the same. It was what sparked.
Then I'll say Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell.
He sparked the gritty renaissance in Detroit.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for Benetti, somebody to bring the electricity back into the Tigers, because
this team is going to be great next year.
No, because no offense, you don't want to have an announcer that is boring. You don't want to be the guy playing on the field that says, "Oh, and there goes Torkelson. It's going, it's gone." You don't want that. You want the guy screaming at the top of his lungs, hanging out of the press box, calling the game.
You want him to be into the game. You want him to bring, like you said, bring the life into the game. I love Matt Shepard. The one thing that I think he struggled with last season with the Tigers, and I'm not the only one that thought this, was bringing life into it. Now, towards the end of the season, I'll give him credit. He worked on it, and a lot of his home run calls got a lot better from the beginning of the year. But it kind of just seemed like he was tired. And I think he improved a lot towards the end of the season. But then again, Benetti, it was definitely the move to move on from Shepard and bring in a young, full of life type of guy who's on the national scene. He's on the national scene. He's regarded as one of the best broadcasters and one of the best play-by-play broadcasters in the country. And he's doing top college football games. When it's not Gus Johnson, it's Jason Benetti. He's doing, he did NBA. He did MLB on Fox, some national TV stuff, MLB on Fox. So he does the national TV scene. And he's just really good at what he does. And I'm really excited to hear him next to Simo in the booth.
Simo and Kirky and Gibby.
Yeah, a bunch of guys that know ball. I'm so hyped.
And
gonna be
Cameron
so
Maben,
great.
too. Don't forget about Cameron Maben.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if Cameron Maben's going to embrace the radio role or if they're going to give that to Andy Dirks. Because
Andy Dirks?
I really liked Andy Dirks on the color commentary next to Dan Dickerson.
This like for radio. He was on
Yeah.
radio.
Yeah,
What?
he was.
I didn't listen to
It
radio.
was Andy Dirks, Cameron Maben, I think one other guy. They all kind of like sprinkled in here and
Andy
there.
Dirks. That's a name. That's a name.
So I really like Andy Dirks on the call. He's, again, young, brings life into the call. I mean, I've heard some of his calls, and they've been great. I really want to see Cameron Maben kind of take in the analyst on Tigers Live / color commentary role with TV rather than radio, just because I like his energy. He's young. I just like him with Bally Sports. That's me personally, though. But, yeah, that's what we're talking about with Jason Benetti and Bally Sports upgrading their Tigers booth.
Benetti called the Washington game on Saturday, and it was a great call. I watched the majority of that game after the Michigan game, after they won against Penn State, woohoo. But I watched, Benetti was on the call, and there was a play where Washington got an interception, and the guy who got the pick, I forgot his name, dropped the ball at the 1 yard line, and the color commentator said it was a touchdown, but Benetti knew he dropped it on the 1. And I was like, this guy's intelligent.
He is.
And he's a very intelligent broadcaster, and that's what I really like about him.
He
too.
cares about his craft, and Detroit's got a special one in their Tigers play-by-play booth. And when you think about it, I mean, Ken Daniels is brilliant, George Blaha's brilliant, but once George is gone, right, and George retires, you have Johnny Kane, Jason Benetti, and Ken Daniels. That is a very, very good trio for Detroit sports in the play-by-play booth for Bally Sports. But it's 12:30, so we're going to move on, and we're going to talk a little bit of Detroit Pistons here because last night was just a continuation of my disappointment and another season of this.
Kevin Knox is averaging 18 a game.
Kevin Knox, he had 18 last night to lead the Pistons on great shooting. Welcome back, Kevin Knox, his second stint with the Pistons. Cade Cunningham had his first off night of the year with only 10 points. Very bad shooting, but hopefully he comes back on Tuesday, bounces back. He loves to play the Hawks. Career high 35 points is against the Hawks. So hopefully he can notch a new career high in response to that off night. Jaden Ivey only played 11 minutes. A lot of people are saying free Ivy. I just think we got to see this team healthy first and kind of like line up the rotation. Monte Morris is rumored to be back for Tuesday against the Hawks. Rumored. He said he's coming back very soon, and that was last week or early this weekend. So hopefully Monte Morris is back, and then Bojan Bogdanovic should be back in the next couple weeks, along with Isaiah Livers. Alec Burks was back last night as well, provided a nice little spark plug off the bench. And Marcus Sasser, a little bit of an off game for Marcus Sasser, and Jalen Duren is still out. Hopefully he's back Tuesday. The Pistons' disappointment is an understatement. 2-8, 2-9, excuse me, an 8-game losing streak.
Yeah, not good
for the Pistons.
Not good.
Not good.
Not
But
good
I mean,
at all.
again, I'm not going to make any overreactions. We are 11 games into the season, folks. Out of 82, 11 out of 82. There are teams that have started 2-14 that have made the playoffs.
True.
There's a lot of time to rewrite the ship. There's a lot of time for players to get healthy. And I'm not going to make a judgment or assumption on Monty Williams or this team yet until I see them all healthy. I want everybody to have played at least a couple games first. I want to see Bojan in the system, which I think is going to be really good in the system. I want to see Monte Morris. I want to see Livers. And I want to see more consistency from Duren. But 8-game losing streak, it's tough for the Detroit Pistons right now. And they're just trying to weather this storm and hopefully try to sneak out a win because the NBA schedule is not easy anymore. You can't really look at any games and be like, that's a win.
No, you can't. And it's injuries and just turnovers. Cade played like crap yesterday. It was a bad shooting night for Cade, and Kevin Knox played really well last night. I'll give him some credit as much as I don't like him. He played good.
Chicago played good defense on Cade as well.
Yeah, and I'll give him that. But once Bojan's back in a couple weeks, once Monte's back, hopefully tomorrow, and once Duren's back again, hopefully tomorrow, just try and win a game. One game, I'll be happy.
One win can spark 5.
One win can
Look at the
make
Rockets.
me happy.
Look at the Rockets on a 6-game winning streak after starting 0-3. If the Pistons started 0-3, we'd be having the same discussion a couple weeks ago. Pistons start 0-3. Here we go again. We can't win a game. They were saying the same thing about the Rockets, and now they won 6 straight, and they're 6-3.
And that's all Dylan Brooks.
And look at what one win can spark. If the Pistons go on a 6-game winning streak, we'll be 8-9, and we'll be okay. This team's hot right now.
Yeah, but what's their schedule looking like? Let's see. Atlanta tomorrow in the group stage for the
It's
in-season
winnable.
tournament. Winnable. Cleveland.
Especially, look at the way we played against Chicago. Look at the way we played against Milwaukee. Look at the way we played against, Portland, not a great team.
Right.
But we've come close against a couple pretty good teams.
Yeah, and Atlanta, Cade is normally that's the team that Cade normally like rips apart.
Yep.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham is a Hawks killer, especially now that we're in the in-season tournament tomorrow. I can totally see him win.
The way we played
This
against
game
the Warriors
is very winnable.
we
I'd
played
say.
very well against the Warriors for a bit. We played really good against the Suns for about a quarter.
Almost beat the Bucks.
Almost beat the Bucks. Almost beat
Well,
the
to
Warriors.
be fair, Giannis did get ejected, and that's kind of what sparked the win, I feel like.
It's okay.
But
Giannis
then we got
wouldn't have
Cleveland
done
on
much
Friday.
anyway.
Cleveland's going to be a very tough team.
I think Hawks is winnable.
Hawks, I think, is very.
glasses.
Cleveland, I don't really know.
Hawks is winnable. Cleveland's winnable. Raptors are winnable. Nuggets we're going to lose. Pacers it's winnable. Wizards we should win. Lakers it's winnable if the Lakers keep playing the way the Lakers are playing.
I mean, the Lakers lost to the Magic by like almost 20.
Magic are good.
And the Magic are really good this year, so.
Do we play the system at all this year?
Who's the
Mr. James Harden?
Yes we do. We play them twice.
That's gonna be
Clippers. I'm
interesting.
looking for our first Clippers game.
The Detroit Pistons.
It will be February 2nd at home, and then we play them February 10th away.
Think he's still going to be on the team?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll be
When's
there
our
for
first road trip? That's what I'm looking for. Our first road trip. It is
December 15th, 16th, and 18th.
no, our first West Coast road trip.
Oh, we got Houston, Utah, Golden State,
Yep.
and Denver
Yep.
in January. That's going to be fun.
Right, the first
And-
day we're back. It's a 10 o'clock tip off.
We got-
Great.
we got-
I was waiting for a 10 o'clock tip off for home, but
We got a massive road trip in February, too. Sacramento, Portland, LA, Phoenix, and Indiana. That's going to be a fun one, too.
yep, a lot of time away from the pizza oven, Little Caesars Arena. But 12:35. Let's move on to our picks from this week.
picks.
It's time to go.
Sorry,
over.
Pictons. We gave you only 5 minutes.
It's time. I only gave him 5 minutes anyways in the script.
That's fair. All right, what are y'all records looking like so far through 10 weeks?
I am 54-31. Yesterday I went 10-3, so I'll
Wow.
take it. 10-3 is not bad. 58% win percentage, and I'm ranked. I moved up in rankings, 489,135th.
I am 51-34. I went 9-4 this week. 57% winning percentage and a rank of 500,088. I am almost in the 400,000s.
Let's see. I went 8-5 this week. Not my best week,
Not bad.
but not terrible. I mean, I'm 94-55 on the season. Ranked 78,010 in the world with a 93.3 winning percentage.
And hey, I have a proposition. If one of us goes undefeated in 1 week, they win a prize. Free dinner.
Supplied by you.
Free dinner. Well, no. Free dinner.
Yeah,
Okay.
free dinner at the dining hall.
Free dinner. Free dinner at
Dining
like
Connect.
Bennigan's.
All right. I like that. Let's start going over these games here. Panthers, Bears. Bears win 16-13, one of the worst primetime games
What
we've
the
seen in a
heck?
while.
What the heck are these primetime games? We got Bills, Broncos tonight.
Well, another primetime game was Colts and Patriots, and that was only 10-6.
Oh, I got the Bears winning that one. Very ugly win. Very ugly game. And then I got Indianapolis winning that game.
So have I. I had those
Just-
same two picks as well.
What is going on with Mac Jones? What?
Well, that interception at the end of that game was.
That was Bailey
Well,
Zappi,
let's
though.
see.
No, that was Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones is not the only issue in New England.
It's the offense.
Bill Belichick needs to retire. He got carried by Brady his entire career.
Yep.
Sure, he was good at getting players to come there. That was only because of Tom Brady, though. They don't have a receiver. Who's their receivers? Hunter Henry,
Hunter
Juju
Henry,
Smith-Schuster.
Devontae Parker, Juju,
Mike
Mike
Jigrity. Mike Jigrity. I'm just gonna call him that. They don't have a receiving core. Nor
Mike
does
Gesicki leave the Dolphins for?
yeah.
I feel bad for
I don't
Gesicki.
Did he get traded or did he sign?
No, he signed. And Ezekiel Elliott doing nothing and rotting on their bench does not help that offense. They have a good defense, but their offense probably has to be the worst in the country right now.
That and maybe the Panthers.
I mean, even the Panthers had a couple good weeks. Thielen had a couple 100-plus yard games.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Patriots need to figure something out because I don't think Mac Jones is a bad quarterback. I don't think he's a bad
I mean,
quarterback.
he was carried by one of the best wide receiver rooms we've ever seen in college football at Alabama.
True. But I still don't think he's going to be a bad quarterback. I mean, I guess we did see that with Bryce Young, too, and he's kind of falling apart, but he's also doing better than Trevor Lawrence did in his first 8 games. So I guess we'll see with that. On to the next game, though. I had the Steelers over Green Bay.
So did I.
I also had the Steelers going over Green Bay. One more time for the people in the back. Fire Matt Canada. What a terrible
6-3.
offensive coordinator.
Yes,
I don't understand how they're 6-3. Their defense is elite.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin can turn a team that's made out of rocks into a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah, because Rocks still play good defense.
That's fair.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
the
this was such a
Anthony
good
Schulte
pick for you.
upset of the week.
Wow, good respect.
The Houston Texans, with only 8% of the world picking them, beat the Cincinnati Bengals. C.J. Stroud
Yeah.
and MVP conversations.
I mean, he's locked in Rookie of the Year.
Oh, easily.
100%.
What D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud are doing over there in Houston, like,
Tank
props.
Dell's going off. Sorry, Ryan. Nico Collins is injured. Yeah. Who's the third receiver for them?
Not Brandon Cooks.
No, it is Brandon Cooks.
No, he's on the
Brandon
Cowboys.
Cooks on the Cowboys.
Wait, okay,
Trusted
no.
Cowboys fan.
No, Calvin has him. I'm figuring this out.
But
their receiver room's doing really well. They're young. CJ Stroud just insane. They don't really have a running game, but I don't think that's too big of an issue right now. So I guess we got to see where things
And they can
go.
figure that out next season, too. This isn't their last season to be
No.
good.
No.
They're still only 5
this
and
is
4.
their first season to be good.
here's the thing. I mean, when you have a quarterback that's going to be in MVP talks, Offensive Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year talks,
Noah Brown.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud has turned heads, especially my head. Holy cow.
I mean, I don't like the fact that he's an Ohio State
No, that's why I don't like him.
but
I really like C.J. Stroud.
I
just for his
really like him
personality
as like he's got a good personality.
as a person.
He's got an incredible amount of talent. He's so much better than Bryce Young. Bryce Young is gonna flop.
Also so much taller than Bryce Young.
Yeah, Stuart Little is not a good quarterback.
He's not. Moving on, Saints Vikings. The Vikings take the win. I picked the Saints.
I picked the
T.J.
Saints.
I
Hawkinson.
picked the Saints.
T.J. Hawkinson, have a day.
Okay.
Josh Dobbs, aerospace engineer one day, and Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback the next. This guy is pretty good.
Lions got to watch out for them Vikings. Buccaneers and Titans. The Buccaneers take care of business. Mike Evans contributing to the fantasy team.
I picked the Titans.
I picked the Bucks.
Pick the
Whoever
Buccaneers.
told me to start Will Levis instead of Kyler Murray, Anthony,
Whoa! When did I say that?
last week.
Okay, well look at the defenses they were both playing.
Kyler Murray got 17 points. I'm still gonna win this week, but like
Okay, so don't complain.
Will Levis only got 6 points. He's off of my fantasy
Hey,
team.
Trevor Lawrence on my bench had 2.
Will Levis is off my fantasy team. Devon A-Chain's coming back next week.
Yep, he
I'm
is.
so excited.
49ers, Jaguars, not much to talk about here. 49ers absolutely take just take control of that game. 6-3, they improved to. And the
ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.
y'all laughed at my face last week. You laughed in my face. You laughed in my face. All of the viewers that was watching live and on YouTube were laughing in my face. Ooh, the Browns are gonna get crushed by the Ravens.
Well, they were until the second half.
Until the second half when we had a pick six, baby. Deshaun Watson's back. The Browns are back. This defense is elite. The Browns are going to make a playoff push. They are my dark horse to make the AFC Championship. What did I say? This was my upset of the week. Wow. This is the first time our upsets of the week got hit. Wow. What a game.
Well, I've had him hit a lot just at the same time.
This is my second one that hit. I'm very happy. Here we go, Brownies.
Now just imagine this. Imagine if the Browns had a good receiver and a good quarterback.
They do have a good receiver.
More than one.
Fair enough.
I mean,
they got to make the upgrade in the offseason.
Yeah. No, I think next year they look really scary. Myles Garrett's going to get even better.
Oh, yeah.
That team's going to be scary.
Very scary indeed. The Lions on the chart, already went over this, 41-38.
Yeah.
We all picked the Lions.
Oh,
I picked the Falcons.
I picked
the
the Falcons.
Cardinals.
I also picked the Falcons.
Surprising us all, 25-23. Cardinals take it.
Trey McBride, another 20-point game. He's going to be my starting flex over Christian Kirk at this point because Christian Kirk is, I mean, he's doing all right. But the Jags, what's going on with them? I don't know.
The Jags.
The
offense is broken.
Yeah. No, the Cardinals, now that Kyler's back, Trey McBride has popped up, and he's now Travis Kelce 2.0. They look scary for next year if they can get some more pieces.
Just a better defense. And just try and keep Budda Baker.
Yeah.
The Cowboys take a giant win, 49-17 over the Giants. See what I did there?
Yeah, well, the Giants are pretty small.
Well,
so.
The Giants suck.
Yeah,
Who started last week? Or started yesterday for the Giants?
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, some random Italian guy I've never heard of before.
And he's not Jimmy G, so he can't
remember
be
what I
called
said
Italian
last
Stallion.
week, Giants fans? I said I'm going to apologize if the Giants win, and I am not going to apologize. Y'all,
Ryan, there's not a single
unapologetic.
Giants fan that watches this show.
Yeah, there's probably not. Seahawks, Commanders, 29-26. Seahawks take the win. Picked the Seahawks personally.
I picked the Seahawks.
I
too.
also picked the Seahawks. That was scary. Towards
A little bit. Raiders and Jets, another prime time flop, 16-12. I picked the Raiders.
I picked the Raiders.
I picked the Jets.
What's up with these primetime games ending in these weird scores? 16-13, 16-12. Unconventional scoring on prime time. And then tonight I have the Bills over the Broncos.
Me too.
I don't feel like changing that at all.
I have the Bills.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were our picks. That was NFL Week 10. And that's all we have for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 13 of Card Guys, 91.5 The Mountain, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Join us Wednesday. We're going to go over our picks for next weekend. It's going to be a fun one. Go over more stuff in the sports world. Maybe some Red Wings. Maybe the Pistons will win on Tuesday. We could cover that. And we'll preview the Lions' upcoming matchup next weekend. For my colleagues, Doug Mobley and Ryan Donnelly, I'm Anthony Schulte. So long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. See ya in 8 days.